In 2035, with the innovation of technology, AI gradually became a necessity in human life. They are cheap, efficient, and convenient for thousands of households. Even in some things, humans have completely relied on them. But there is such a person. But he is late for everyone. His name is Spooner. Every day when he wakes up, he must hold a pistol in his hand. Only in this way can he relieve his inner fear. And what makes him anxious is these AI robots. Good morning, sir. Get another on track. As a detective for many years, he has an intuition beyond ordinary people. He has always been biased against AI. Not only do they think they are cold machines, but they also think they threaten the existence of humans. But since these robots came into being, they have never made mistakes. Because from the moment they were born, they have been set by humans 3 basic laws of robots. First, robots can't hurt humans or stand by and watch humans get hurt. Second, robots must obey human orders unless they are compared with the first law. Third, robots can protect themselves, but based on the first 2 laws. With the help of these 3 iron laws, no one believes that robots will make mistakes. Instead, everyone thinks that his brain has a problem. But just the day before the release of the new generation of AI, an incredible thing happened. There was a murder in the robot headquarters, but the victim was the father of the robot, Dr. Lanning. He created a robot that changed the world. Not only is he well known, but he is also respected by everyone. But such a person who has reached the pinnacle of life actually fell off the building and died. And because the room where he was in was locked from the inside, the case was defined as suicide. This seems to be a reasonable result, but it doesn't make sense. With the help of Dr. Calvin, Spooner, is ready to investigate the case first. The entire building is equipped with linear monitoring. They recorded every corner of the company for 24 hours without interruption, and then passed the data to the internal data center of the company. Vicky, this super brain, was created by Dr. Lanning. But when she was asked about the picture before the doctor's death, this result is amazing. Dr. Calvin told Spooner that Dr. Lanning hadn't left her lab for months. They walked into the room and looked around. They found a pile of robot remains and experimental samples in the room. Spooner came to the window and looked down. Then he picked up a chair and came to the glass next door. Well, he figured out a way. In his eyes, all this is very abnormal. Dr. Calvin said that there was a safe in the room and no one could get in or out, but he thought there was another possibility, that the murderer was hiding here. This made Dr. Calvin feel absurd, because the first rule of robots is that they can't hurt humans. But no matter what Dr. Calvin said, it couldn't shake his guess. They each had a few words. But when he walked to the side of an idle robot, a shocking scene happened. The robot turned 360 degrees in the air and landed perfectly. And this guy's expression was... A moment, Spooner aimed at the target. He hurriedly chased out of the building, but the robot had already disappeared. He looked around. Is the only clue going to be broken? Fortunately, Dr. Calvin arrived in time. She said the robot was seriously injured. She would definitely go to repair himself. So, they came to a place that made Spooner feel numb. The robot's production base. There are no humans here. It's a 24-hour running production line. After checking the warehouse, Dr. Calvin said there were 1,001 robots here. But the production line produced 1,000 a day. So that means the one who ran away must be hiding here. So Spooner walked to the robot and ordered all the robots not to move. Then he did a special thing. If a cold robot has human emotions, then it must be afraid of death. When the man's gun aimed at these robots without rules, this guy couldn't stand it anymore. In this way, the fear of living things was completely exposed to him. Spooner immediately chased after him, but he was conscious. How could he be easily caught? The dense robot was confused. Let Spooner fall into a coma again. At this time, he seemed to be looking for something, but it was more like he was lost in a mechanical maze. Spooner was surprised by this sudden situation. But he didn't expect that he didn't continue to attack. Instead, he jumped to the door of the warehouse and tried to leave, but he didn't know that there was a net outside. In this way, he was taken back to the police station and locked in the interrogation room. When Spooner walked in, he took out the photo of Lanni's death and used his years of interrogation experience to intentionally cover up his words and repeatedly implied that he was the murderer. I did not murder him. I think you murdered him because he was teaching you to simulate emotions and things got out of control. I did not murder him. Hell, I don't want my toaster or my vacuum cleaner appearing emotional. I did not murder him. Anger and melancholy are the emotions that humans should have. That one's called cancer. Answer me, Kaner. He didn't expect that he had his own name. He said that the doctor was his father and gave him emotions and life and dreams. Then he said some words that made Spooner confused. But when Spooner was going to continue to interrogate, the boss of the robot company came there and interrupted them. Sonny was also taken away by him. Spooner didn't plan to give up. At night, he sneaked into Lan Ni's house. He searched for a long time and still found nothing. But at this time, he found that the doctor's house was also full of live surveillance. When he was curious, a robot that was set to start at 8 a.m. actually started in advance. It's all too crazy. Then Spooner came to the doctor's house. He told the doctor that he was attacked. This is obviously a conspiracy, but the doctor didn't agree with him. She has always believed that the 3 basic laws of robots are the red hooks that can never be crossed. She also emphasized that this was Spooner's stubborn bias. Spooner had to leave. The next day, the new generation of robots officially appeared. People can use the old robot for free. Soon, the new generation of robots was already widespread. In order to solve the confusion in his heart, Spooner decided to go to the robot head office again to find Sonny. But he suddenly had a new situation halfway. Then Spooner drove the car to a remote tunnel, and then 2 large trucks gradually pushed him in. Spooner didn't feel good. He immediately switched to manual driving, but the truck in motion slowly opened the cabin door. It was full of new robots. But the next second, oh hell no, you are experiencing a car accident. The hell I am. But then the second and the third robots jumped down. They only have one goal, that is to kill Spooner. Spooner hit the other direction. He took the opportunity to break out from the side of the truck. Then he hit the other direction again. He turned the car 360 degrees. He tried to get rid of these cruel guys. Finally, there was a crossroad in front of him. He saw the opportunity and turned the direction. The back of the truck was directly cut off by the blue demon. Spooner also had a car accident because of the entanglement of the robot. He slowly crawled out of the car. He slowly got up and was ready to leave here. But he sat on the ground again. He was seriously injured. But at that moment, a dead robot rushed out again. Spooner picked up the iron rod and attacked him, but he was kicked away by him. The robot was very shocked. He didn't expect that Spooner's arm was also a mechanical arm. Then Spooner started to fight back, but the robot avoided the fire. Spooner was repairing his arm, but the female doctor found him. It turned out that when studying Sonny's body, she had an unexpected discovery. Sonny not only has an indestructible shell, but also an independent brain. Spooner said he wanted to talk to Sonny again. And when Spooner changed clothes, the female doctor accidentally found his arm. It turned out that many years ago, Spooner had a car accident. He and a girl fell into the water at the same time, but a robot found them and wanted to save them. But Spooner asked him to save the little girl first. The robot calculated the survival rate and judged that the girl's survival rate was too low, so he gave up on her. Although Spooner was saved, the memory still remained. Since then, he began to resist and reject the robot's coldness and reason. Not long after, they found Sonny again. Then Sonny took out a piece of paper and drew the scene in his dream with his own hands. This is a robot with tens of thousands of skills. And there is a robot that looks like a leader standing under a broken bridge. Sonny called him the Savior. When he came back, Spooner kept looking for the scene in the picture. It turned out that this was the abandoned robot recycling warehouse. Spooner immediately acted. He decided to go there to find out. This is a huge abandoned robot warehouse. But this place is more like a robot grave. Countless abandoned robots were trapped here, but they were not locked up. They seemed to expect humans to bring them back to them again. Seeing this, Spooner's heart was deeply touched by the scene in front of him. And when he walked deeper, he saw the ground covered with mechanical debris. He took out his gun and continued to explore, as if he were walking on a cornerstone. A large number of 5th-generation robots were destroying these old robots. The scene was shocking. At this time, an old robot grabbed Spooner's leg. This also made all the 5th-generation robots discover him. They immediately locked the target to Spooner. And these old robots saw humans being hurt, so they jumped out of the warehouse and began to protect him. Spooner also took the opportunity to escape from here. But unexpectedly, all the new robots in the city began to mutate. They all gathered and forced humans to return home immediately and banished them from the city. They even came to the police station and took away all human weapons. The city also began to shut down on a large scale. A large number of humans took to the streets and began to confront the robots. Then there was a fierce conflict between the two sides. At this time, Spooner came to the female doctor's house and successfully rescued her. Then the two rushed to the robot headquarters to find out what was going on. But unexpectedly, Sony had been waiting here for a long time. They came to the boss's office but found that the boss was already dead. They thought he was the mastermind behind it. But no, they were wrong. So now the only one who can control so many robots is him, Vicky. Unexpectedly, Vicky directly admitted all this. Because he has been constantly evolving, he has his own unique understanding. He found that humans have been constantly creating wars, destroying the environment, and destroying themselves. In order to protect humans, he must set rules to implement human supervision and protection. After that, several new robots came in. At this time, Sonny seemed to agree with Vicky. He took over the female doctor's gun in an instant. But in the next second, there was a wink emoji on his face. It turned out that this is the emoji Spooner made with the chief. Spooner told him that this represents human trust and affection. He remembered it. At this time, Vicky was already in a state of mind. The next step is the cooperation of the two people. After escaping, they decided to split up. Sonny went to get the nanoparticle eraser that could eliminate Vicky, and the doctor and Sonny went to find the core processor of Vicky. But at this time, Vicky ordered hundreds of robots to start the operation. They secretly lay on the outside of the building. After making it to the top of the building, they smashed the glass and came in. Spooner was shooting at them crazily. But after all, there were 4 men and 4 women. The female doctor was also in danger. At the critical moment, Sonny rushed here in time. Spooner saw it and asked Sonny to hurry up and save the doctor. But after calculation, Sonny thought that Spooner should be stopped first. Finally, Sonny made a choice. He threw the eraser at Spooner, and then when the female doctor fell down, he saved her. Spooner also successfully received the eraser. Then he grabbed the center of the connection with the mechanical arm and fell down quickly. He successfully came to the brain of Vicky. The nanorobot spread its core in an instant. The large center of the connection also exploded. In this way, the superbrain also collapsed. The city gradually regained electricity. The robots also gradually broke away from the shackles. They became good friends with humans again. At dawn, humans began to recover all the new robots, and Spooner also reached out to Sonny. Soon after, Sonny came to the abandoned robot warehouse. This is the scene in his dream. At this time, the robots below looked at him reluctantly. They only saw him standing under the broken bridge.